on.
Hurry up.
Okay, we'll just go.
Come on, Louise.
Knock,
Go
knock.
James. Do like play the role play, Louise.
Hi. My
Hi.
name's Louise. I'll be your nurse for today. We're here for Katie, is that right?
Yes, Katie.
And what's your name and date of birth?
Katie Wade, 31699.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about some of the symptoms that you're here for today.
Yeah, I've been peeing a lot more than usual.
Okay, I see you're pregnant.
Yes,
Okay.
excessive thirst. I don't know if these are signs of pregnancy or if it's something else. And then I'm really fatigued. I wake up several times throughout the night to drink and pee.
Okay, are you her friend?
Yeah.
Have you noticed any other signs or symptoms from her?
No, she's just been complaining that she's been tired and, a little bit of dizziness when she gets up and walks. She says that she's been getting up to pee a lot at night, which is a concern because she's not getting a full night's rest. So
Okay,
It's
and
just-
you think it's more than your normal
Mhm.
pregnancy urination?
Mhm.
Okay, let me go talk to the doctor and then we'll run some tests and take some vitals and then we'll come back and see what we think, okay?
Okay,
yeah,
thank
you.
Thank you.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, I see you were talking to my nurse, Katie.
Yes.
Oh, awesome. So,
sorry, who are
Katie,
you?
I'm James. I'm Katie's doctor today, and may I ask who you are?
I am her friend.
That's awesome. Okay. So, Katie, I see that you're kind of here for you've been peeing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you having like confusion, some lightheadedness,
A little bit and more tired than usual.
more tired than usual. Do you have any like pain in any areas that you wouldn't have? Do you have any like bowel movements that you wouldn't normally have?
No.
Are you okay with like concentration and driving?
Yes.
Do you have any issues driving at all? No, nothing with light.
Mm-hmm.
Motor reflexes is all good.
Everything's good.
Do you
Okay.
feel after you drink water that you're satisfied or do you still have more thirst?
I'm thirsty all the time.
All the
Like
time.
I can't get enough.
Okay. And even after you've drank a lot, you
Mhm.
just still feel like you need more.
Mm-hmm.
How many times would you say you're going to the bathroom on a daily basis?
Oof, I like
A
10
lot.
times a
10,
day.
10 plus. Okay.
Wow,
Wow.
okay.
So that's a lot.
It's excessive amount.
So, with that said, Katie, I'm going to possibly run some tests. There is a chance that you might be suffering from diabetes insipidus, and it is a rare medical condition. Only about 20 to 25,000 people a year suffer from it.
Mhm.
So it's not something that's very common, but it is very treatable. And luckily, we were able to identify it when we did now,
Mhm.
and we can do the proper steps that need to be taken to kind of correct the course. And so what we're going to try to do is see what the issue is with the vasopressin. We're going to see what the issues are, and we're going to come back in and we're going to correct them. Okay?
Okay.
All
It
right.
could be due to the fact that you're pregnant
Yes,
also.
that
There
is-
is some forms of diabetes insipidus that lead to gestational. So it could be that, it could be central, but
We
what
don't
we're
wanna
gonna do
say
is
anything
run
yet.
some diagnostic
Yes.
tests.
Yes.
Okay.
When you come in for that diagnostic test, you're gonna have to not drink for 8 hours prior.
Yep.
We'll run that, then we'll do a DDAVP sub-Q to measure your ADH levels, and that will kind of give us a better understanding of where we're at.
Okay.
Until then, I think we'll keep monitoring vitals, check your in and O's to see if you're drinking more and releasing more than what you're intaking, because that could be a sign as well. Okay.
All right. Yeah. This is whatever she just said is perfect.
I love you.
I don't know why I'm even here.
Do you have any
She should have went to med school. All right. So we're gonna go be right back to figure out if you are suffering
Think
from
of any more
gestational
questions that you
diabetes
may
insipidus.
have. Okay.
Yes.
All right. We'll be right
Yes,
back.
we'll be right back in 10 seconds. All right, we'll edit that.
All
Okay.
right.
So, good news is, bad news first, good news first.
Bad.
Bad news first?
Yeah.
Well, the bad news is you have diabetes insipidus. But the good news is you have gestational diabetes insipidus. So we know what's causing it. A lot of times diabetes insipidus is idiopathic and you don't actually know the primary cause of it. So the good thing is in this case is we know exactly what is the issue. So we can really correct it.
Yeah, it'll be a lot more manageable.
It's a lot
now.
more manageable if you know what the cause is.
Yeah.
So that is the good news here.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, we do have to kind of start like a treatment of like vasopressin and maybe some other things to stop the enzymes that are in your uterus that are kind of like affecting this.
Mhm.
And once we do that, we can kind of get you set straight and get out of here.
Cool.
Okay, Okay, I have a few questions.
Yeah, of course.
So, what kind of lifestyle modifications does she have to adapt to now that she has diabetes insipidus because of the pregnancy?
That's a great question. That is a great question. So there's like a few things that you can do. Again, she already touched in about monitoring your water in and your water out.
Mhm.
Fluid monitoring is like the number one thing with patients with diabetes insipidus. You want to make sure that you're still hydrated, but not excessive to the point where you're now just agitating the issue, right? So there's a fine line, and we got to make sure that we're treading it. I mean, we can. It's very doable with just proper monitoring and management. And then another thing is like good diet. Like a thing that is underlooked is proper eating. You have to eat good foods that are like properly sourced.
High
Fiber diet. You know, you want to get some good proteins if you can in there to help your body kind of like recover and try to rebuild what it needs to.
What about like, will she be taking some kind of like medication to help reduce this?
There are some different medications we can look into for her if that's what she wants. There's also just the health modifications of your diet
Some primary
and
steps
Yes.
Before we take
before we take,
With-
because of the fetus, right? We want
Yes.
to protect them,
Yeah.
so we're gonna try those.
yeah,
first
even in worst cases,
riskier.
there's surgery in some cases, but I don't think that that's anything you'd have to worry about
Yeah.
anymore. So.
Yeah, no, not anymore. And,
Other than going to the bathroom more than normal, that's a common expected effect, but as you treat it, it should go down to
normal.
what's
Normal.
normal for a pregnant woman.
yeah, and to try to walk a little bit too. It helps with fluid. So like when you start to walk, you start to get like a good venous return. So it helps your body like kind of absorb water and like reflect water where it needs to go to kind of like get your body to proper osmolarity. You know, so just kind of walking a bit, making sure your diet is kind of dialed in, and just monitoring your water in, your water out is basically the top three things that I can try to say, and consume some fiber.
Yeah,
You know, if we
lower sodium.
lower sodium intake.
Mhm.
But we're going to run some tests just to make sure that we can give you the perfect
Overall treatment.
overall
plan.
treatment plan for
Sorry,
you.
no
So we're
more
going to go.
popcorn.
Yeah, so we're going to go through the
Watch your
medication.
movie dates,
Yes,
guys.
yes. So we're going to go get the medication list, and we might talk with you over the best possible treatments for this gestational diabetes insipidus. Is that
Okay.
cool?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Okay.
guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
So, I ran some things by some of my colleagues, and we came up with a treatment plan that I feel very comfortable with, and I want to just run this by you to see how you felt about it as well.
Right, yeah.
So, we decided that a thiazide diuretic in combination with desmopressin is going to be the best medical treatment in terms of medicine that we can give you, in combination with the lifestyle changes of trying to get up, walk a little bit every here and there, monitor your fluid in and out, and also try to eat a little bit better if you can. I mean, you're already eating great, don't get me wrong, but just being pregnant, your body is now feeding too. So it's always just a game of catch up, right? So I think that making sure that you're taking your daily vitamins as well, if you can, tolerate them a little bit here and there, because again, baby, right? So we're gonna have you come in bi-weekly for a CMT panel. And what that's really gonna do is it's gonna allow us to monitor your metabolic, it's basically a metabolic panel for a test. So it lets us see your sodium, your potassium, your calcium, kind of see where you're at in terms of your like excreting of what you're taking in. And so we can know that you're returning down to like your homeostatic levels. And so we're giving you the thiazide diuretic to basically pull all the water that's in you out, so that now once the desmopressin kind of hits, it's not fighting all this water to get where it needs to go. It can be absorbed in your kidneys, and then once you're still drinking water, now all that new water is going to help take it to where it needs to go, instead of it fighting a current, basically, is what it almost is, right?
So that would help her like decrease her urine output.
Yes,
So she's not
yes.
running to the bathroom as
Yes,
often, right?
exactly. So the diuretic will kind of pull all that water out. So you'll pee a lot initially, but then you're not going to be feeling like every 10 seconds you need a catheter placed, right? So there's that. That's going to be a plus. So I think that your friend's on board with this plan.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like I sold her, so you don't look at me, but I mean, I don't know.
Yes,
All right, I mean, she's not pregnant either. So
I was gonna say it's more work for her